Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Journey to Happiness, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe. So this is going to be part 2 of my experience working as a agency Med-Aide slash Med-Tech slash CNA. There are some things that I forgot to mention in the first video, so that's why I'm going to make a part 2. And if I have hair on my shirt, it's because I have my dog with me, Bullet. Let me show y'all him real quick. I'm gonna let him lay back down. He sheds a lot, and I have my lint roller at home. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, Bullet. The people wanted to see you. So I'm gonna get right to the point. So the first thing I have is they wanted me to be a supervisor, meaning like if I was working as a Med-Aide that day, there's been a few times where the CNAs that were on my hall not doing their job, and I have seen some lazy CNAs being agency. Them not doing their job, not checking people or whatever, just sitting down. Like the DON or one of the nurses come be like, Joanna, you need to tell your CNAs they need to do their job. You need to let them know they ain't taking care of your people. I'm like, I ain't no supervisor. They know what they supposed to do. I'm not a supervisor. Did you eat all your food? Okay, sorry. I was seeing if he ate all his food. So yeah, it's like it's totally different at the job I'm at now. Oh, what? Okay. It's totally different compared to the job that I'm at now or other jobs where I've worked as a Med-Aide. Like, for example, like the job I'm at now, I'm not nobody's supervisor or nothing like that. Like, if the CNAs don't do their job, whoever's in charge, that's on them to kind of tell them, hey, you need to be doing your job. You need to be checking on people. My job is just to pass the medicine. I'm not getting paid like no supervisor. I'm not getting paid like no nurse. So why you expect me like to be a supervisor to the grown people? That's not my job title, you know. So it's a big difference. Like at the job I'm at now, when I work as a Med-Aide, there's always a nurse over me, and that nurse, they don't have their own cart. They are just a supervisor. They don't have their own assignment. You know what I'm saying? They don't have their job is to oversee and to be a supervisor. And of course, like if anything happens, like an emergency or something like that, at the placement now, I don't even check blood sugars. I can as a Med-Aide. That's in my scope of practice to check blood sugars, but they have the nurses check the blood sugars. If the nurse is very busy or something crazy has happened, I'll go ahead and check them to help the nurse out. But at my job, most of the time the nurses do the blood sugars. And at my job, really, oh my god, I'm sorry y'all, Jesus. At my job, dang, now I forgot what I was about to say. What was I about to say? Oh, at the job I'm at now, the nurses don't even pass out medicine at all. It's only the Med-Aides work the cart. The only time I've been at this place for over a year now, the only time I've seen a nurse pass out medicine, like do a med pass, is if they were really short, like on nurses. But I've seen that happen like one time since I've been working there. Besides that, they have Med-Aides that pass out medicine like full time, and the nurses just over the Med-Aide and over the CNAs and stuff. So it's just a big difference. When I was agency, yeah, technically speaking, there was a nurse over me, but that nurse also had their own assignment. So they were over me, but they also had a med pass to do themselves. That's a lot. So I was very shocked when I saw that, because I just assumed, every place was the same as far as every place that uses Med-Aides. But no, this place, I would be a Med-Aide and the nurse would be over me, but that nurse would have their own assignment to do, their own med pass to do. But if anything happened with my patients, I'd have to go get that nurse. So they're responsible for that hall in my house. So it was crazy. So I do kind of see why the nurses would want me to give the insulin, because it was a lot on them, but I can't. It's not my fault. I can't give insulin as a Med-Aide. But anyway, so the next point I have is, I remember there was a time where the place that I went to a lot through agency, they were in the middle of renovation, which I don't know why. Like, you barely have enough staff and you want to remodel the building. The building itself was not that bad. So I was thinking, y'all worried about the wrong thing, ain't you? But whatever, I'm not in charge. So basically, it was put on these CNAs, because since they were renovating, the patients that were on this hall that was being renovated, they had to move somewhere, right? So it was basically, they put it off on the CNAs to move over 40 patients in one day. And when we weren't doing it fast enough, the DON, like, she threw a fit and like, y'all need to come on, we need to do this. I'm like, so we were saying, like, are we CNAs today, or are we moving people? Like, which job are we doing? We can't do both though. But they was expecting us to move all these people, 40 people, onto this different hall, and still be a CNA, supposed to check people every 2 hours, all of our CNA duties. Like, really? They should have, what they should have done was talk to the agencies, like, hey, we have to move 40 residents. Can we bring in some CNAs, maybe 2 or 3 or whatever, just to do that, just to move people, and then we're going to pay them for it. And they can come in for a few hours, just all they got to do is move people, or however long it takes. That's what you should have done. But that is absolutely ridiculous to expect CNAs to do their whole CNA job and move 40 people. I mean, move their beds, their furniture, their clothes, everything. That was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't sign up to be no mover. So that was ridiculous. So yeah, stuff like that. Nurses demanding vital signs. Specifically when I was at this place, sometimes like, literally as soon as I got there, when I was working on the hall, the nurse would be like, I need my vital signs. Like, literally, I was clocked in for like 5 minutes. I ain't even got my report yet. I ain't even checked on, know which assignment I'm on. Like, honey, make sure you get my vitals as soon as you can. There was a few nurses that worked there that were worse than others. Like, they were really on us about getting vital signs. Like that was their first priority. Like, I don't, if you want the vital signs so fast, you get them your damn self. Like, if call lights go off, I have to answer it. You're not going to answer it. If something happens, if the resident needs something, I have to do that. So the vital signs is, I'm sorry, but the vital signs is not first on my list. And at this place, for whatever reason, we had to get a full set of vitals on everybody every day. A full set. And I remember one time it was first shift, and we had like probably 20 patients each, right, on first shift. And as soon as we get there, the nurse comes to me and the other CNA. He's like, hey, you guys, he was saying some other stuff, and he was like, and I need these vital signs as soon as possible. I said, well, can I get them after I do my round or something? He was like, well, I need them as soon as possible because some of them are for blood pressure. Their blood pressure. Some of them are blood pressure pills. So, you have to take their blood pressure before you get the pill. Because if their blood pressure is too high or too low, wherever the parameter is, then you're not supposed to give it. And it's like, shouldn't you as the nurse, the one that's going to be giving the blood pressure medicine, can you not at least get that vital sign? At least? Like, you just being lazy. You being lazy and ridiculous. Like, it was crazy. I don't understand, like, but yeah, so most of the nurses, they do 12-hour shifts. They do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So when I did mostly, before I started doing first, I did 3 to 11. So the nurse that would come in at 7 p.m., like, literally, and I've already been there all day, like, literally, as soon as she got there, I need my vital signs as soon as possible. There was like 2 nurses that would do that. The other nurses weren't they would not bother us that much about vital signs, but there was 2 I remember, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, we got 20 patients, 30 patients each, and lots of times it's not what you say, but how you say it. If it was me, I would be like, hi, I know you probably got a lot going on, but when you could you get these vitals for me, please? Now, that sounds a lot better than, I need these vitals as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? Lots of times it's not what you say, but how you say it. Like, it was ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous, especially on blood pressure. Wouldn't you want to get the blood pressure yourself for something like a blood pressure medicine? Wouldn't you want to get that yourself? Oh, but no, let me ask a CNA that has 20 or 30 patients. Let me rely on them to get this blood pressure. Okay. So, the last one I have, this is a big one, is being pulled to different assignments 4 to 5 times in one shift. There was lots of times where, through agency, the schedule is not right. It says we got 5 CNAs, but we really only got 2 or 3 because the schedule's never right. So when I'm working as a CNA, I don't play around. When I find out what assignment I'm at, I go down the hall, I check on all my people, I get all my supplies together that I need for the day, I stock my linen cart, make sure I have everything that I need to make my shift as smooth as possible. So then I get right to work, checking people and all that, right? So I move fast, right? I try to get my work done as fast as I can. So I done checked everybody, got everybody in good shape. The next thing you know, oh, Joanna, we're going to have to move you to A Hall because Sunshuts never showed up. And that happened a lot doing working agency. Or we're going to have to move you to B Hall because Sunshuts didn't show up. We don't have a CNA for B Hall. And I done all this work for nothing. That happens a lot during agency. So it got to the point where I waited, like I did what everybody else did, the other CNAs. Let me wait 45 minutes first before I start really working. Because let me see who's going to show up. I'm not about to do all this work and then I got to move to another hall. So it's not my fault the schedule's not right. So that's why I started, let me wait 30 minutes first before I really get started. I'll answer the lights and stuff, but I'm not working until I see who all's coming. Cause that right there was bullshit. Then you get moved to a hall. It might be a lazy ass CNA that had this hall, or that hall might not even had a CNA. I've seen that before. So nothing was done. So you're starting all over, and nothing was done. You already got 5 call lights going off. So there's been times where my assignment has changed literally like 4 times in one shift. Because CNAs didn't show up, or CNAs called out, or the schedule just wasn't right. So, yeah, that's a big one. And with me being a Med-Aide, there's been lots of times where I was down to be a CNA, but then the nurse didn't show up, the schedule's not right, or whatever. So, let's say I was working first shift, right? They wait till like first shift, 7 to 3 or 7 to 7, but they will wait around to like 8 o'clock, 8:30 to say, oh, Joanna, we need you to work the cart because the nurse never showed up, or the nurse called out, or the schedule's not right. And that, I love working as a Med-Aide. I'd rather work as a Med-Aide than a CNA any day. I love being a Med-Aide, but not when it's like that, where I'm being pulled to the car out of nowhere, and it's already an hour and a half into my shift, so I'm going to be behind. These meds are going to be late. Patients are complaining, and when I worked on 300 Hall, the patients are very demanding, and there's some of them where if you don't bring their pills on time, they will literally cuss you out. And like, it's not my fault. They didn't even put me on the cart till 8:30, and that happens to me like a lot. So it got to the point I was told the DON, I was like, look, I like working as a Med-Aide, but there's going to be a time limit. If they don't let me know by 7:30, 7:45 at least, that I'm going to be pulled to the cart, then I'm not accepting the keys. And you can't make me. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. Because, like, why are you going to wait till right around till 8 o'clock? The shift's supposed to start at 7. That's already putting me over an hour behind. That's setting me up for failure. Sometimes that would happen on second shift too. And it was just crazy. So I had to set some boundaries there. I had to say, 7:30 is my cutoff time. Let me know by 7:30 if you need me as a Med-Aide. I will gladly work the cart. If you don't let me know by 7:30, I'm sorry, but I'm not accepting those keys. I'm not working that cart. I'm not doing it, because that's ridiculous. If you're the first shift nurse and you see, if you're the third shift nurse and you're supposed to leave at 7, and you see, okay, it's 7:15, it's 7:20, your relief ain't here. 7:30, my relief's still not here. 7:40, my relief's still not here. Don't you think you need to start calling people? Don't you think, oh, let me start calling people, because my relief is not here. Don't wait till 8 o'clock to say something. And I think part of the reason they did that was because, like I told y'all in the other video, at this place, it was so normal to be late. Like, if somebody showed up on time, I was more surprised than them being late. It was just so normal. Everybody showed up late. So I felt like, maybe like, oh, okay, they're coming, they're just late, because everybody's late at this job. Almost everybody shows up late. It's like, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why. And then when they finally realized, wait a minute, I don't think they're late, I think ain't nobody coming. So I think that's why. But that's not my problem. And that's ridiculous. So yeah.